All right, and I'm live. Okay. I'm going to try to do this on Mondays going forward. Do a live thing, driving her to therapy. And then while she's in therapy, try to do a live stream. Okay, well, people got notified that I'm live. There you go. So today's topic, what is your musical comfort zone? Like what music are you comfortable with? Not just that you like, just you're comfortable with. And then at what point do you get uncomfortable? Where you're kind of like, I don't know. Like for me, it's that free jazz. Hey, Glenn, what's up? If you want to come up, let me know. I'm going to try to do this right about this time every Monday. I'm going to try to do this. So yeah, musical comfort zone. Where's your? And again, it's not what you like or don't like. It's like what is it like? I don't know. It's like for me, it was Zappa before. Now I can listen to Zappa. Right now, it's probably like Beefheart. He just gets too weird and wacky for me. And then you have who's another good example? Like free jazz. Like what was his name? Ornette Coleman or Coltrane when he really went experimental. Okay, let me get you when I stop. I'll put a link up. Um, yeah, like when Coltrane, like Glenn, you just talked about, and this would be good to talk about the Coltrane documentary that you talked about that you watched recently. I don't know if you watched it while you were in Florida, but I went ahead and watched it also, and it really helped me understand Coltrane. It doesn't help me listen to the music because it's uncomfortable for me. It's really experimental. I understand now and no, he's not just making noise or whatever. So I'm getting ready to stop here. Let me pull it up. Let's see. I guess copy, boom. Let's see. I'm getting a little bit better at this. I'm in the car, so it's not boom. Okay. It's a little different when you're in a car on the app here. So there we go. I don't know if I did guess to see if you're there, if you just pop up down there. Let me see how this goes. And who knows where this live stream is going to go or how my day is going to go. So I'll try to stay up here as long as I can, but it's usually a block of time where I can do things. Let's see. Got 4 people up there. So what is that music comfort zone? What is it that you can put on, you're comfortable with, and do you ever challenge yourself to try and go different places that you normally didn't? Like as I got older, I tried different things. Jazz was kind of out of my comfort zone at one point, and like I said, certain types of jazz now. There's just some things that you just can't get into, right? Not necessarily you might hear something in it that you do like, but something that it's just like, oh, this is so strange. So that's why I'm interested in hearing from you guys to see what those areas are for you. Let's see. Okay. Still getting used to this. I don't see you there, Glenn, yet. I hope you just pop up down here. Usually, I think it pops up with by my guest little symbol there. It says this person's like there's somebody waiting. I'm trying to think what else would be, because it's more like, again, not like or dislike. It's more like, like I don't get it, kind of thing. It's more of a feeling, um, other than just liking or not liking a song. So that's why I kind of picked out like free jazz and Coltrane. But Coltrane was like really just making those squeaky noises and, really just what you could, once I watched the documentary on him, I understood what he was doing. He was really trying to put his emotions out and his feelings through the music. And so I understand what he was doing. And a lot of times that's what these musicians are doing, and they're doing it in a different way that we're not used to. I was basically raised on pop music, rock pop, so my rock had to have those melodies and things like that to them. So when you get into something that expresses itself in a different way, that's where it gets hard to um, accept it. I guess is what I'm thinking. What I'm trying to say here, because verse chorus, nice little melody. Beatles are perfect with that. Now maybe the Beatles opened the door. Oh, here we go. All right.
We there? Can you hear
Okay,
me?
I'm bringing it up. Let me see. Try that
Can you hear
again.
me? Can you hear me?
Perfect. Yep. Can I hear you? Can I hear you?
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
Huh. So
sorry, I'm having trouble here.
you sound fine.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, it's like what are those areas? Not dis or like or dislike music, but like what is an area that's like I can't get comfortable with it. It makes you uneasy sometimes. And that
Uh,
Coltrane documentary was perfect when you recommended that, because it helped me understand what he was doing, but I still can't. Even a couple of the guys in the documentary are like, "Yeah, man, I get it, but whoa, I can't listen to it." You know?
I, I'm definitely it's different jazz types of jazz. I can't do like Ornette Coleman, some Coltrane. Those guys who are just like they're playing like a million notes when one should do. I just don't. I'm more of a Miles guy. Like the space between the notes means something, and those guys are just too busy.
Right. Now, do you think like comparison to Zappa? Now, did Zappa he'll get crazy, but does he stay with the melody and within a zone, or do you think he gets crazy like that? Not crazy. I want to say crazy. That's not a good word.
Um,
Experimental like that, or
I
just
think he
emotional.
goes he branches out, but I think it's always interesting. With those other guys, I don't find it interesting. Like at some point I lose it. Like I'm just going, I don't even get it. Like I don't know what they're trying to do.
Yeah, like
Um,
with Zappa, I guess he still has like the bass line going back there, or something else
yeah,
in there.
I don't know, just the way he does things, and he interjects, little instruments and like little, like all of a sudden the vibraphone will come in and do something weird or something. It always attracts my attention. Whereas I find like I just bought that Coltrane 8 album CD set, and some of it's amazing, and some of it just loses me.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
When you get towards the later career there, when he was really getting into that, really trying to do his emotions through the
Yeah.
music.
But I'm trying to
Yeah,
think because my ears are pretty wide open when it comes to music. There's not a lot that scares me. Like I mean, I love East Indian music. I love world music. I love you know jazz to a certain point. I don't consider myself a jazz expert because it's just such a big rabbit hole. But
yeah. I
I
think
don't know.
jazz is a maturity thing. Like I don't know. I wasn't really even interested in it till I got back into vinyl, and all of a sudden I'm finding myself enjoying it, and
Yeah.
understanding a little bit more of what they're doing. It wasn't just a free for all. There was a written part to it. There's like even like classical music, right? There was a structure to it,
Hmm.
and that's what I'm still learning about it. I'm still not that versed with jazz. Every once in a while, I'll pick up a song and go, "Oh, I know it. What's the title?"
Yeah.
It's harder when there's no lyrics for me.
I remember I think it was in that Ken Burns jazz documentary series. I don't know if you ever watched that or not, but it was either Winton or Bradford Marsalis made the comment that jazz is the kind of music you have to go to it. It does not come to you.
Yes, perfect. Yes, I've seen that line, and that's perfect. Yes,
Yeah, like
that's jazz.
that's why people don't like people who don't like prog, like people who are like our friend Rob from Northern Revolution. Not, I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying that's his taste is more geared towards pop music, something that sounds good, like the Fleetwood Macs and the Eagles and people like that. Like if you put on, like he tried to listen to the Yes, Close to the Edge, and he couldn't do it. Like it doesn't resonate with a lot of people. Like they don't want to. they don't want to, or they can't open their ears to something that sounds strange to them.
Yeah, I think it's for me. It's with prog. I don't know. It is this overall sound that I just don't quite grasp. Like I get what they're doing. I understand they're great musicians. It's just the sound. Like certain sounds catch your ear and it's pleasing to your
Yeah.
ear, and sometimes it's like, I don't know. Are you guys really? Are you? Because to me, it's like, okay, who's trying to play the fastest in the band? Sometimes is what prog is, and I know that's not what it is, but that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, well, prog's a big rabbit hole too, like jazz. I mean, not all of it's the same, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there are songs that I do like, like Lucky Man, and there was another one I think you gave me or somebody else by Emerson, Lake and Palmer, but those are more towards what my ear likes, the pop
Yeah.
sense with the melody and a structure to it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not afraid of it. It's just I'm wondering if one day it'll stick with me, or I'll
How are
never.
you with world music, like sitars and stuff like that?
Oh, I like it. I've only come across like one. I'm gonna get my daughter out of the car here. One album. Really, I don't come across a lot of it, but there was a Ravi Shankar album that I picked up at an estate sale for a dollar. Cleaned it up, and I enjoy it. I put it on. It's cool. I dig
Yeah.
all that. Yeah.
I find it like almost hypnotic. It's really relaxing to me.
Yeah, it is. Like it is. It's soothing, and in fact, like when you listen, dude, I'm letting my kid out, so you're gonna have to
Okay,
go
that's
around.
fine.
No, I'm just this guy behind me is throwing a fit, so you might see some Florida road rage.
Oh, good.
But
That's what.
yeah, so hopefully you can still hear me.
CGC vinyl. Hi, Glenn and John and Glenn. Wish I could add to the conversation, but jazz is not my jam. We're not really talking about jazz as such, other than just talk about music that's a little unaccessible, like music that you find it hard to get into. You'd actually be perfect like that talking about jazz, because what is it about jazz that you don't like? That would be
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, like that comfort zone kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, that's.
Say bye to everybody.
I find a lot of
She's
people,
off.
if they don't like something right away, like they won't keep trying.
Yeah, and that's important as you keep trying. I mean, I'm
It
all
is, but
about
you
that.
have to. But in regards to that, you have to find something interesting about it to make you keep trying. There has to be something to motivate you to keep delving into this when it's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I'm getting back in the car. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that's the big thing, and I challenge myself now. Before, when you're younger, you don't have as much patience, and you're like, yeah, I don't like it, I'm done. You know, that's the end of that.
Well, that was part of the conversation last night on Steve All the World's a Stage channel when he had his chat with Marcia and Trevor last night. Was how many times will you give an album before you give up on it? And I said that as long as I hear something
Yeah, it's a funny
lyrically or
question, right?
musically
Because
interesting, I will keep listening. As soon as it bores me, I'm done. And Steve kind of
yeah,
went, "No, we got to talk." Like, I don't think he liked that answer.
well, it's hard because especially with us, we're constantly you're getting introduced to like 5 CDs a week by Larry. I mean, and then from the show, and we're always going, hey, try this, do this. There's so much stuff we're trying to get to. It's like, do we have the time to go back to an album that didn't catch us right away?
Mm-hmm.
So that's I take that in consideration too. And it's funny. Have you ever had like I had a Delamitri album, and I was like, it's whatever, and I got rid of it. And then all of a sudden, I'm watching like Scrubs one day, the TV show, and there's a song, and I'm like, oh, this song is amazing. And I go back and trace. I go, crap, that was on that freaking Delamitri album. How did I not hear that song? That just I'm like, this is instantly one of my favorite songs. Just going to stick with me. How did I not catch that when I listened to the CD? Was I just tuned out?
Yeah.
When I was listening. So, and I went back to that CD and listened to it, and I still don't like most of it. I like that one song mainly off that CD. So, but
I mean, yeah, if you give it a few, I don't know. I don't know how many listens. Like, if you give it a few listens and it's not grabbing you, I guess at some point you kind of give up. But
I mean, there is a time to move on, and who knows? Like anything, it might come back to you in a different way and catch you. You
Yeah,
know.
I also find that albums that take me a while to get into are the ones that I end up liking the most. The ones that I like right away. If I put an album on right away and I love it from start to finish, I'm bored with
Yeah.
it within a week. I guarantee you.
Really? Is it
Yes,
because you
it's
overplay it?
too accessible. It's too easy to like.
Hmm.
I'll end up going that. There's no way. Like this is just it'll go on the shelf. I need something to challenge me a little bit.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'll put it away because it's like I've played it 100 times already. Let's give it a break, but I'll go back to it and like it. But yeah, you like something right away, and you're like, eh.
After a while, I can guarantee you if it's something like, especially in pop music or rock music, if I love it
Mhm.
right from the start, from the first listen, I guarantee I'll get bored with it.
Huh. Because it was just I can see what you're saying. And what's a challenge to you? Like, is that the Zappa stuff where it's like
Well, it has to,
that's
yeah, there
what?
has to be something that makes me uncomfortable almost when I'm sitting listening, going, "Whoa, what was that?" Like,
Yeah,
I almost have to hear something in the instrumentation or something weird. I was listening to this band, Cake. Do you know the band Cake?
yeah. I haven't given him a chance. I saw you talking about them, but I haven't really listened
Yes,
to
I
them.
really get it. It's kind of quirky alternative rock, but you know what really got me is they're playing
Huh.
this rock music with guitar and everything, and the vocals everything's a bit weird. The lyrics are a bit weird and everything, so it's kind of a bit off-putting. And then they have a horn, like with guitars and drums and bass. They have these trumpet solos come in. It just doesn't fit what they're
Huh.
playing, and it sounds so weird in there that I love it.
But somehow it works. It's like Frank Zappa, where I'm going to
It
stop
worked
the song
perfectly.
and give you a kazoo solo right here. Here's my kazoo solo. You
Yeah,
know. And I caught something, a video I just finished. I did another one of those. If you like this, try this video. And Led Zeppelin, "The Ocean" came up. And it's funny. I've listened to that album so many times, like while I'm doing other things, that at the end, that part where it does a total like change into almost like a different song. You know what I'm
yeah.
talking about?
Where's
I'm
that on?
like off of "The Ocean" by Led Zeppelin, off of
Oh yeah,
"Houses
yeah.
of Holy," because he has that one part that breaks down. It's like uh, real mellow, and then it kicks back in. But there's one at the end where it turns into this totally different tempo change and song, and you're like, where the heck did this come from?
Yeah.
You know, it's cool, but I always thought it was a different song because Led Zeppelin, I had a hard time with them because they don't. Later on, they didn't name their songs after the lyrics, so you
Yeah,
had to remember what that song was. You know what I mean? So I like noticed that today. I'm like, that was weird. I had to sit back for a second and go, that's all part of one song. How did they do that? Why did they do that? What was in their mind? That's crazy for me, like as a musician. Like mine's straightforward. And I'll go, no, I'm gonna change the tempo right here. Let's
yeah.
go.
Oh, see
So
that interests me. I love that. I love weird time change, like weird time signatures in music. Like some of these bands playing like 13/8 or something. You know, like I mean, a rock song's in like 2/4 time or 4/4 time, and it doesn't
yeah,
vary. You know what I mean? To 12-bar blues. There's this. It's like blues is it's basically the same formula for every blues song. You know,
yeah.
and then you get these guys, and all of a sudden they're playing in different time signatures and stuff. I find it really interesting. Well, we got Marcia here, we got Steve here.
Yeah, what's this one? I like piano jazz, like Oscar Peterson trio, but I don't want to collect jazz records. I don't have the space. That's the problem
Christian,
too.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's funny for me. I'm not a huge piano, guitar, jazz person. I think I'm more of a trumpet, sax, jazz
yeah. You
person.
like the brass instruments,
Yeah, I think I like that sharp sound that they produce.
yeah.
Now I like that Big John Patterson. I think I picked up recently. Let him roll or something. And now
Hmm.
it has I forgot the guitar player on that. It has guitar, but it's more in the back. It's not the main instrument.
Yeah.
So I can take that a lot better and with the piano. But if the piano's the main instrument, I don't know. It gets too lounge act for me
Oh
sometimes.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
well, you know. I
yeah,
wouldn't call Chick Corea or somebody like that a lounge act. They play some pretty wacky
yeah.
stuff.
And that's just as bad as calling prog, Renaissance music. It's and I say that and I don't mean it as an insult, but that's what it reminds me of when I'm walking through the Renaissance Festival with a turkey leg in my hand. I'm thinking, Yes, or
Yeah,
Emerson, Lake and Palmer. you know, that's just the feeling I get. It's not nice to say, I don't think, but I don't mean it as an insult. But I don't know how else to describe it.
that's funny.
Yeah, all the world's a stage. Oh, so we got last night. Now we're reversed now.
Yeah, we were
Last night's
talking about
live
you,
stream.
Steve. I don't know if you meant. I was mentioning that you guys were talking about how long it takes. How many listens you give a record. That's kind of what we're going talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
That's another
The main
band. Gary's mentioning. Do you think Morphine or Primus? I love them both. Yeah, Morphine's great. I just got into those guys earlier this year. I was
yeah,
on a chat with Mazzy, and he mentioned Morphine. And I bought one of their CDs. It's really good.
yeah. I think Mazzy just had a video right with morphine or something in there.
Yeah, what do you think of more bass, sax, and drums? Yeah, it's pretty cool. And Primus is great because I love Les Claypool's bass playing.
Yeah, see, those are bands I've heard stuff, and I just haven't listened even to a whole album by them.
Yeah. Oh,
That's the beauty of this.
the late Sam St. John is with us too.
Sam St. John with a haircut. He did get the haircut.
Did he? I didn't see it.
Yeah, he did
I'll
a
see him on
video.
Wednesday.
Yeah, I think the
Wow.
video came out Thursday or Friday after you guys were live, and there was Sam. Yeah, the hair
Oh, I
size
haven't
all
watched
cut
this yet.
back. Yeah, watch out, ladies. How'd you like Sam's
Live
video
at
there?
Gillies by Leon Russell. I wish I'd gotten into him when he was still alive. Yeah, yeah, but get the first. Don't worry about live, Leon. Get the first album. The first two studio albums are amazing.
Which ones were? Yeah, Leon Russell's a guy I want to get into. I don't remember what
Yeah,
his first albums were or anything.
yeah, he's great.
But I always liked his voice. He had a cool, distinct voice,
Yeah,
like Dr. John. Dr. John always had like that different voice,
yeah. I like the Leon Russell album. He recorded an album called Signature Songs, but unless you just want, it's just piano and vocals. He redid all his famous songs, just him playing the piano. There's no backing musicians on 90% of it, and he just sings his songs. It's really very intimate. It's a really good album. It's actually on the Dark Horse label, George Harrison's label.
Yeah. Now Leon Russell, was he like a lot of people did his songs, or did he have hits as an artist?
Oh,
I don't
he
know
had a
too
lot.
much
He had a
about.
lot of hits.
Okay.
Yeah, Tightrope and
Tightrope. Yeah.
Strange Land, and yeah, he's got a ton of songs. This Masquerade, which George Benson had the big hit with.
Okay. So maybe I need to hear it.
Beautiful Leon Russell song. No, he
Okay.
wrote a lot of.
I always liked your song. Yeah, your song is just a beautiful song, and then when Ray Charles did it, oh, it's just amazing. There's so much feeling when Ray sang it, So Prague has too many.
What's Marcia saying here? Prague has too many gnomes. Very nice
She's-
for liking, John.
I was trying to be nice, and she's going right at it. Yeah, too many gnomes, too many fairies,
That's funny.
too many doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
And I'm not a big fan of gnomes and fairies and knights, so I don't know why I like it.
No. Have you read all the Lord of the Rings and?
No, I don't. I can't do any of that stuff. I can't get into it.
Now I know somebody. She's big into Prague, but she's also big into fantasy, like Lord of the Rings, Hobbit.
Yeah, no.
Any of those fantasy novels. So it's funny that she's into the sci-fi and
Wow. No,
Prague. I think they go hand in hand.
they kind of do, and I never thought about that. I'm not interested in that stuff at all. It bores me.
Yeah.
No ladies
Let's
heading
see.
my way. Not at the moment. That is. Yeah.
I don't know why, Sam. That haircut. It's nice to have hair. That's what I say.
Yeah. I don't know. It bugs me. People who have hair don't want it, and people who don't have hair would love some. It's not fair.
I think what's his name? What's his name? The French guy there. It's always on with Rachel. I can't think of his name right now. He has all the hair. He took all the hair from everybody.
Oh yeah. Is that stunty guy or whatever?
Stunty. Yeah, Stunty has all the hair.
Yeah.
Let's see. All the World's a Stage. I have most of everything in his. I think he's talking about Leon Russell.
Yeah. He had a few hits, so he's well covered. Yes, he was. I think
Yeah.
this Masquerade, the George Benson version, is probably the biggest hit of it. Leon
Yeah.
Russell.
See, now George Benson's type of jazz and like Weather Report, I can't get into.
Yeah,
I
George
just
Benson
don't.
was pretty baby pablum, really, for me. Not that he wasn't a great guitar player, but the
Oh
music
no.
middle. It's like middle of the road jazz, like listening to Kenny G or somebody like that. You know what I mean? It's just kind of
Yeah, and it's that something about that jazz guitar tone when it's too present. I don't like it. It
yeah,
reminds me of the dentist office, and it just does. But you know, the talent's there when you hear them noodling around and doing scales and all those cool jazz chords. Um, but overall, it's just too much guitar. You know, it's like Herb Alpert. I don't like it when
yeah. I
they do
can't.
a cover song and then they do the notes almost like the person singing note for note. To me, that's
Yeah,
music. You know, it gets into that area.
yeah,
Let's see, Leon Russell and the Shelter People. I think I've heard it. I'm gonna check that one out. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, okay, so got two thumbs up on the Shelter People. Got Scott in the house. He's
Let's
not too
go.
far away. Where are you, Scott? Today is Monday. He lives down in St. Pete, but I think he worked north of us. But he goes by Kingfish. He's been in there a couple times. We keep missing each other. And he missed the that bananas store that I did the video on.
Oh, yeah, that's what he commented on. I saw his comments on there.
Yeah, and they have a warehouse. That's what I was trying to tell you in the live stream last week. Is they have a warehouse also, not just that store. And it's literally like you have to walk upstairs and go inside, and it's a cool room. But then once you're up there, there's another staircase you take down into the building, and it's just,
Ah,
from what I remember, wall to wall, just albums everywhere. So that's a cool place. Oh, Sam hit 900.
thanks to a short. That's funny. See, you got a few TikTokers to put you over the top. That's good. I'll never
That's
watch
right.
your channel again, Sam.
You
But
know,
they
it's
help
funny
you get to
though.
900. Do a few
Yeah,
more shorts. You'll get up to 10,000, and then none of them will ever view your videos.
yeah. Well,
It's
you have
great.
your regulars, but I even saw like Rick Beato who has like a
Yeah,
million subscribers, but he only gets 20,000 views, and that's pretty small compared to a million,
yeah.
subscribers. So there's always that ratio that's way off. You know,
Mhm.
yeah, I can get my subs up and whatever, but only a certain percentage of those people are going to be watching, and most of the people watching aren't my subscribers.
I
That's just
started
how it
paying
is.
attention now to like when the whole screen comes up when you go onto YouTube and all the videos come up on the screen. You just can pick and choose what you want to watch. I
Mhm.
start watching now how many views people are getting because it's surprising that a lot of people get like 100 views.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people getting
No,
thousands of views in the VC. Very few.
no, and it did go up. I like we tease about the shorts, but got my subs up. But I was around 20 to 30 views per video. But yeah, my subs went up, and I'm up to like 60, 70, 80. It's a lot higher margin now. So I don't know if it is because of the subs
But I've
but
never
I've
done
noticed my
I've never done a short, and I just did a video yesterday. It's got 600 views.
yeah, and it's weird, right? I mean, like my Van Halen one from a year ago, I got like 10,000 views.
Yeah,
I have a Etta James short, and it's up to almost 78,000 views right now.
that's
Because
crazy.
people are, yeah, and I've gotten I don't know how many subs off of that thing, over 200 probably. So I think shorts are more for the creative mind, and it got crazy for you because they were putting
What are
it
you trying
into
to
their.
say? I don't have a creative mind.
Well, I want to see your creative mind, Glenn. Get on there. You don't play around with the computer. You don't edit your videos.
No,
You know,
no. What you see
which
is
is
what you get.
nice.
That's my
Yeah, that
style.
is nice. Yeah, I do like the walk and talk. It's a one straight shot, and I'm like, man, that's really easy to get that video done. You
Yeah,
know?
no. What you see is what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that person who likes to play around and do the cuts and the
Oh yeah, people
scenes and all.
like Rob Northern Revolution. He does an amazing job, and you did a great job when you edited our video of our get together with Marcia at the
Yeah, I was
restaurant.
really happy with that one.
You did a
Yeah,
outstanding. That was the Mona Lisa of VC videos. It was awesome.
myself on the back. Yeah, I like that one. I watched it again.
Oh,
It's like I like my
Academy
editing
Award
here.
winning editing.
Yeah. So
That
let's
is
see, a
a
song
beautiful
for you.
song. That song for you by Leon Russell's one of my favorite songs. Beautiful song.
Yeah, I was just saying, do a walk and talk. Maybe I could do a matchup between Leon Russell version and uh, uh, Ray Charles. But I love that part where it slows down and just
Well,
how many?
but that's Elton John, your song.
No, a song for you. I'm sorry, a song for
Oh,
you.
oh.
Yeah, yeah. Get my your song for you, somebody's song mixed up. But that part where they just bring the piano down and just roll.
I
I'm
didn't
like,
know Ray
how
Charles
many?
did a cover of that song.
It's on. The album is in the '80s. A different World was that TV show, A New World or Different World, and it
Yeah,
was produced by Quincy Jones. And it was, I didn't like most of the album because it was '80s produced, and it didn't, it's not Ray. But when he did a song for you, and there was one other ballad that he did, and it was just Ray and mostly the piano and some orchestration.
yeah.
So if you, I'll look up the album, but if you can come across that, it's worth it for those two songs
Oh, wow,
that are
that's
on there.
awesome.
It's
I
it's
love
just
Ray.
yeah. Oh, you'll like these songs. Oh, you're working in St. Pete. Okay. Congrats, Sam. I don't
Don't
know. What did I
congratulate
miss?
him. He did it with shorts. It's not. It's cheating.
Oh, on the 900. Okay.
You're encouraging him.
Yeah, he's gonna get a big head. He already has all the hair. What do you want?
Yeah,
All the
yeah.
subs too. Come
Yeah. He didn't get a haircut. His head got bigger.
on.
That makes his hair look shorter.
Yeah, the hair went back into his head because it got so big. Don't you love how we like dig on each other when the other person's not in the room? Gee, Sam, sorry I can't bring you up right now. Yeah, Donny Hathaway is another one that I got. So many names that I got to get into. You know. There's so much. Who did he work with? Wasn't there a female artist he worked with?
He did do a duet with somebody.
Uh,
I can't
can't
remember.
remember. The lunch video was good.
It was
Yeah, you
probably
could just
David
tell we were
Bowie.
having okay. Yeah, you could tell we were just having a good time at that meetup. That was fun.
It was fun. I wish I was there so we could do it again. I'm going to a record show this Sunday in the Toronto area and meeting up with Rob from Northern Revolutions, because we've never met in person, and
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Brian from Embryonic Journey or whatever, him, and I think there's another guy too. So
Um,
more VC meetups.
yeah, you got Roberta Flack. That's what it was.
That's what
He,
it
he
was.
was. He did quite a bit of work with her at some point, didn't
Yeah.
he? I thought they were sort of a team at one point. So what is this one?
Oh, look at
Ooh,
breaking
okay.
news.
I'm assuming there's going to be a video coming out on this.
Oh,
Quite the pack.
Steve, do an unboxing. You'll
Oh,
get
he's
like
not.
50,000 views on it. Don't be silly.
Yeah, those are the ones
That'll
that
be
we
your
want to
most
watch.
watched video, man. People are dying to see that set.
Yeah, you see your excitement when you're opening it.
Yeah. You're
Although does
making a
Steve get
mistake
that
not doing that
excited?
video.
Steve's kind of even keeled. Does he get that excited? I don't know.
Yeah. I
He
don't
kind of
know.
keeps it cool.
Yeah, I think he's on Valium.
That's how we stay cool in the VC. Pop a pill. It's all good. Let's see. What is that album? Your World, My World, Somebody's World. That Ray Charles one. And I gotta find it. But yeah, it was, like I said, it was kind of overproduced with Quincy Jones. But man, those two songs on there, I gotta find it here. Ray Charles, A Song for You. So anybody? Let's see.
Steve says it's not Valium, it's Quaaludes. Yes, Marsha, we want
Yeah,
to, Steve. You got to do an unboxing. You have to.
absolutely.
You owe it to the vinyl community. I don't even watch PC 31's channel. I watch yours. Do it for your fans, buddy.
So so the people in I have a peanut gallery. Check it out. You guys watching, what's like where do you get uncomfortable with music? Like where you're like, I don't know. We were talking about like jazz and Coltrane getting squeaky and stuff like that. So I'm interested to see what other people feel is like, not like or dislike, more like, I don't know. Should I like it? Should I try and make the jump? it was like for me jumping into Zappa. That's a perfect example. And I've gotten past the fact that I used to describe Zappa as zany because it was kind of like zany the way he sang, and even his voice, the way he did it was odd. Like, do I take this seriously? I think I
Mhm.
take this seriously, right? So you get past that and just realized he had a sense of humor, and he did a lot of things with his music. When he really listened to what's happening in there, it's like, man, and it's drum fills and things
Yeah.
like that. I don't even know how these guys did that on some of those
You
songs,
also
especially
wonder what,
live.
like people say, people say, "Oh, I can't stand Bob Dylan. I don't like his voice." But you got to think, man. Everybody loves the Beatles, and the Beatles worship Bob Dylan. Every singer-songwriter ever lived worships Bob Dylan, and was inspired by Bob Dylan. Like, so do you not sit back and go to yourself, "What am I missing?" Like, is it must be me who's deficient here? It can't be. It can't be that Bob sucks.
Yeah, no,
I always find that with a lot of people like that. Like even my wife can't stand the sound of Tom Waits' voice, but I'm going, if you just listen to the lyrics and listen to what this guy
it'll
writes,
draw you in, right?
how can it
The,
not
the
draw you in?
feeling, yeah, the emotion. I mean, Dylan would go even out of tune on some recordings, but you could, like Masters of War. I
Yeah,
hope you're. What's that last line in there where he's like, "I'll wait there until you're in the ground" or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah,
Man, he's angry when he's singing that thing. You
yeah.
feel
Well,
it.
that's I think that's Bob's biggest attribute is his ability to connect emotionally and display anger or love or whatever. He's exceptional at is
Absolutely.
he doesn't have a
And it's
beautiful
funny.
voice, but he can get it across.
No, it's fine. I mean, it works. It works for what he's doing. It's like Neil Young. That's why I don't understand when people are into Bob Dylan but not into Neil Young. It's
Yeah,
like, isn't it kind of the same thing? I guess Neil's a little higher and really
yeah,
straining, but I'm like, how do you? That's the one I don't get sometimes. Is how do you like one and not the other?
yeah.
You know. But I guess for some people,
Or even if
there's
you say, I love Dire Straits, but I'm like Bob. I mean, Mark Knopfler to me tries to sound like Bob Dylan. He might
at
have a more
times, yeah,
pleasant voice, but at times you can tell he's
yep,
inspired.
yeah. And it's funny listening to those early Dire Straits albums. There's a lot of it just sounded like they were having fun. Like they were just some of the way he sang, yeah, sarcastically almost some of his
Mhm.
lyrics. And if you're really listening, you pick up on it. It's like, I'm so good. I'm so good at this guitar thing and this music thing, and I'm just having fun. Is what I kind of got out of it.
Yeah, he was pretty
So
effortless.
yeah. So Steve's giving in.
Yeah, that's
He's
good. Oh, he's going to do the draw today. That's good. I need some money, Steve. So please pull my name.
Glenn
I got
needs
too much
a new album. Yeah, I'm with Gary on this one. I can't
Yeah,
do death metal.
because there's no dynamics in the music. It's just noise. It's just
Yeah,
screaming and constant playing. There's not like music needs dynamics.
yeah. And in the
Good
way they
example
recorded
for
it, I don't
that,
know.
like I know Marcia mentioned last night that she really liked the Aqualung Jethro Tull. I mean, the dynamics between that electric guitar and the acoustic and the flute and the vocals, and it's just it just some of it contrasts, but it all sounds great. It's just perfect.
Right. And you could say, I mean, there's a little bit of that Renaissance in there. You got a flute player for a lead singer, you
Yeah,
know? And so there is that in there, but it rocks more. Like it's more of a rock
yeah.
than, so I guess it's more on the more, and they started off more, what, bluesy, right?
Oh, their first album's a total blues album, yeah.
Yeah. So,
But it was a different guitar player, and
yeah. So there's a different feel to it, and it
yeah,
has
oh,
more of
big time.
a structure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Bob Dylan was amazing concert. The first time I saw him, I didn't want to go, but I'm glad I did. Yeah. And it depends on when you see Bob. Like I think Glenn, you saw Bob when Gary saw him in the '90s, there, early '90s, and he was
I saw him
just
in
trying to get.
around '88, and it wasn't a very good show. But every other time I've seen him, it's been amazing.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing at that time because I remember even his 40th anniversary concert. And he came up and he's just like, like just getting through it. And I'm like, everybody else sounded great. I mean, even Tom Petty sounded amazing next to Bob. It was like, yeah, I don't know what he was going through at that time. Was he bored with everything, or was he trying to do something different? Yeah, I don't know what he was doing at that time. Let's see.
Another hand up for
Yep, there
another
you go.
auction. You got 3 guaranteed viewers already, Steve.
Yep, I'll watch it. So that's 4. So all right.
See, I didn't. I mean, my history with Rush goes back to when I was 18, going to the bars, and they were a bar band in Toronto. So I've known Rush for many, many years and did not like them at all. And when I started playing bass guitar and I started delving into bass players and see how they play their instrument and see if I can learn anything, I started to look into Geddy Lee and realized how incredible a musician this guy is. And then I started to listen to Rush all the time because the bass just killed me. And then I started to get used to his voice. Now I like his voice.
Yeah, it's a voice you have to get used to. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
any other some of those voices because it can grind on you. He gets really high up in there, and my wife always said it's like, who's that guy that sings like he's a little elf kind of thing? I'm like, yeah, it's Geddy Lee.
See, I can't listen to AC/DC. They're a great rock band, but I don't like either Bon Scott or the other guy. I don't like either of their vocals.
Bon, I think was
Steven Tyler.
cooler.
I can't stand Steven Tyler's voice. Aerosmith.
No, that's the one I don't get.
Nails on a blackboard. I can't take it.
Like no form of his voice. Like no.
I can't stand him. I can't stand looking at him. I can't stand listening to him.
He looks like a dried up little prune now, like a little old lady. He kind of looks like a little old lady.
He just turned my stomach. That guy. It's like David Lee Roth. Same thing.
Yeah.
So annoying that I can't listen to Van Halen.
Yeah, I got more into the early Van Halen. I was more of a Hagar Van Halen.
Me too. I'm more of a Hagar guy.
Yeah, but I did start to appreciate it. Just they were a band having fun. They didn't take themselves too seriously, but they were really talented.
Yeah.
So I did get into the earlier albums. I think there's only 4 or 5 up to 1984, and then they're out. Yeah. So yeah, I kind of got more into it later, but let's see what Gary says.
Yeah, Triumph was a big band in Canada. They didn't get to Rush's level of success, but next tier down, they were pretty big. Good band. Rick Emmett, great guitar player.
Yeah, I kind of associate them with the 80s, right? Like they had a big presence in the 80s, like that sound.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't find that Ray Charles album. I'm trying to find it. They only have the song in here.
We'll have to look up the song.
Yeah, look up a song for you, but there was a second song I wanted to show you, but I can't find it. But yeah.
Ever hear Pavlov's Dog? Singers Geddy Lee on Helium, but I like them. Geddy Lee on Helium.
Which one? Because there's like even a heavy metal band that has a dog for the lead singer. Now, how did they get away for that without being animal cruelty? I mean, does this dog want to go on tour? Does this dog want to go on stage?
Yeah, no kidding.
Where's Peter?
I mean, come on. Geddy Lee's got his autobiography's coming out in November. I'm quite interested in reading that, being a Toronto guy.
Yeah, I'm always interested in, the autobiographies. Even if I'm not really even into them. I just watched a documentary on Dio. And I like Dio elf years. But I don't like Dio really where you heavy metal, the diver down and stuff. I just didn't like the production of it, of the album.
You mentioned Coltrane, watching that great documentary. I bought a book on Coltrane. I bought a used book for like $5 and I've been reading it. It's really good. It's an interesting life.
Yeah, I got a lot out of his life, and that's why it was easier for me to understand what he was doing. Yeah, it was a very, very good documentary. Very well done. Even that the Miles Davis one, I think Bertha Cool.
Yeah,
that one
that's a good documentary too.
Yeah.
Although I think Miles deserves a longer one. It wasn't long enough for me. I would rather much more detail.
Yeah.
Somewhere it's like the Zappa one. The Zappa one's good, but it's only 2 hours. It's like a commercial for Frank Zappa. That man deserves a 10-hour.
Yeah, it felt like they were rushing through some things on that one.
Yeah. There's too much to the story to gloss over it in 2 hours. It's more for a casual fan. Those kind of
Yeah, they
documentary.
should have done like there's a couple of documentaries where they'll go into 6 episodes almost, and I like those because you
Me
really get a lot
too.
more out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost like Ken Burns, right? How many episodes does he put to
Yeah.
really cover a subject?
Yeah. That Ken Burns jazz series. I wish it'd come back on PBS. I would watch it again.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
You haven't, eh? It's
I'll have to,
great.
yeah, and somebody's
You
telling me
would,
there's a soundtrack too
now,
that
people
goes
who
with
are
it.
real jazz freaks don't like it
Hmm.
because, again, they think they left too much out and the way he told his story. But for someone who's, I think we could both be classified with how big jazz is that we're both kind of more casual jazz fans or newbies.
Newbie, I'm
For
absolutely a
us, it's
newbie. Yeah,
great. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I watch the jazz bums, and I'm like, how do you? I mean, they know the label and they know the
Yeah. Yeah.
pressing,
Yeah.
everything, and I'm like,
No, and
let
I'm
me
still
just
trying to figure out who played with who. And you see this, I mean, they start to get familiar after a while.
yeah,
Like I know
yeah,
that Benny Golson or whatever played on the Monin album, the Art Blakey album. He also plays with Coltrane a lot.
yeah. See, I don't know what happened with your CD for them to put Moanin twice. I don't know if you saw my
Yeah.
comment, but I was like,
Yeah.
I have the album and I saw him streaming, and they didn't put Moanin back to back like that, and that would take you out of the album, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. It threw me off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put it at the
So
end.
Zebras, yeah, and that's what they did on the streaming. They had an alternate take at the end.
Yeah.
So that's weird. So Zebras, what he Gary always talks about Zebra, and I can't remember their song. Um, I think they had a couple hits. Can't do
Thank
death
God you're back,
metal.
Sam. I was getting bored.
I was gonna say, Sam, I didn't even know you left. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was gone.
We're so busy up here,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do gangster rap, and yeah, I can't do any of that. Pop country.
No, no.
Pop country is just so fake.
Well,
It's like,
pop
okay,
country's the worst.
let's put our formula together. We're gonna talk about a pickup truck with our beer, or we're gonna talk
Yeah.
about
Oh, yeah.
our small town roots with the beer, or our dog with the beer. It's like, I don't know. I don't get it. There's Sammy's back, and then you were missed, Sam. See, people were wondering when you're coming back. Let's see here. Yeah, I have to see that. I missed that one. The country one too, I heard was really good.
But the country one was there was certain parts of it I wasn't interested in. So I watched all the early years, and then I watched, the Hank Williams stuff, and I was into some of the bluegrass rootsy kind of stuff. And then once they got into the more modern, I'm out. Like,
yeah, once you get to Garth Brooks and praising Garth Brooks, I'm like,
yeah, basically once it gets to about 1960, I'm done.
Really? Yeah, 70s did have some Dottie West action going in there, and
yeah.
I think Dolly always kind of skirted the line of pop and country, but she seemed more authentic.
Yeah.
Even though she got poppy, even with 9 to 5 or something like that.
I know
But you could
Marshall's
tell she was
a big Dolly fan. I can't. I got a lot of respect for her and think she's an amazing human being, but I could never listen to a Dolly Parton record.
Yeah, I don't know if I could either. I don't know. Yeah. Let's see. I feel the same way about country music, Doc. Too much focus on Johnny Cash and little time spent on him. And Johnny Cash had a lot of especially in the 70s and his entertainment show.
He had his prime years, and yeah.
Kind of like Neil Diamond, like had a good early start, soulful, and then he got really cheesy. But Johnny came back. I mean, at the end there, it was perfect what Rick Rubin did with that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't finished the Dio doc yet, but he was just seemed like a cool guy, Ronnie James Dio.
I have no idea about that. I should watch. What's it on, Netflix or something?
I think so. I have so many streaming service, but I think it is Netflix, part of their documentary series. But yeah, it's just cool. He just liked rock and roll, and he started like as a doo-wop guy, doing 50s doo-wop, and then he got into Elf and got heavier and heavier as he went along. So very interesting.
You can change your diaper now, Steve.
Because he got so excited Sam came back.
Yeah.
I got plenty. You know, you guys know I own an assisted living facility, so I have boxes of stuff. So if you guys need anything, you let me know. I got chucks and depends up to the ear. Scam
Uh-oh.
call, folks. Scam call. There you go. I like country music. Yeah, she likes the Ken Burns documentary quite a bit. There's Too Much Cash. Yeah, I even like the Johnny Cash where he did he called it "I Want to Go Home," but it was like Sloop John B.
Yeah.
But because I picked up one of his early albums and it was on there, I'm like, hey, wait a minute, this is Sloop John B. Why is it called? You know, it's pretty interesting. And I always thought the Beach Boys wrote it. I had no idea. Yeah, Wayne Shorter documentary.
Excellent
I wouldn't
documentary.
mind seeing it.
That was
Yeah,
I watched that when I was in Florida.
is that
I
on
enjoyed that.
Netflix too or something?
I don't know. I'm not sure because my daughter's got all these streaming services, and
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not sure which one
yeah,
it was.
yeah. I like Wayne Shorter, but you know, like I said, once he gets into like weather report and stuff, I just
Yeah, I
But
like
I
some
like
of that stuff. I've got a couple of Weather Report albums. Yeah, it's hit
and a
and
lot of
miss.
people talk about Jocko and all that, and you can be a great musician, but still not get into the music, and you do feel like you're kind of missing something,
Yeah.
you know. Guys in person,
Person friends, you can throw me by the wayside. Yeah, we're now the yeah.
Sam's
We're the cosmic
he's still upset.
hurricanes. The cosmic
Yeah,
hurricane.
he's still upset because you missed them both times coming up and going
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
or
Oh
going down
yeah.
and coming up.
Well, he's kind of boring, after a while. After meeting you, John, it was a
You
step
know,
down.
I have that problem with people, and I ruin so many relationships.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel
It's
so bad about these things,
You're so damn cool
You
that
know.
Sam just is like I was bored. I just done with him.
I'm gonna send him some notes. I'll send him some notes on how to,
Yeah,
like don't cut your hair so often, Sam. Let it
yeah,
grow out. Yes. So I like that. It basically started with the Carters and ended with Cash.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
I had no idea.
they're the most important part of country music. I mean,
Does the documentary end with like the Cash stuff that he did with Rick Rubin? Is that what they're talking about?
yeah,
The
no, I
documentary.
didn't see the end of it, so
Oh, okay. Oh, because you got to the '80s stuff. Yeah,
yeah, I
Reba
got bored. I
McEntire.
would just watch the early stuff, and then I was done.
Yeah, even Reba, I never understood.
No, I don't do that stuff.
Let's see. I pre-ordered the Dylan book, Mixing Up the Medicine by Mark
I thought I might
Davidson.
buy that when I'm there. They're probably selling it at the thing. I bought a Dylan book too. I think Steve and I are both in the same kind of Dylan frame. We're getting excited about going to Tulsa and going to the Dylan Museum, and I just bought one of those books. The guy's name's Hayden or Halen or something, who's written a bunch of books on Dylan. I just bought one of his books.
Yeah, I still have to read. What did Dylan have? Didn't he have a book called Tarantula?
That's unreadable.
Is it?
Dylan's book Tarantula is just weird.
And
Yeah,
then what was the other
he did
one that he
Chronicles,
did?
which is his
Yeah.
his autobiography, but it's all bullshit. It's still,
So he's just making crap up in there.
Dylan likes to put everybody on, right?
Yeah.
So some of it's
Wasn't one
true.
of the what was that one documentary I think Scorsese did? And were you guys telling me
called No
like part
Direction
of
Home,
that's
which is awesome, and then there's the Rolling Thunder one, which is all like they made up a bunch of stories.
okay? So it's Rolling Thunder. Okay,
Yeah.
it was one of those that it was like it looked
Yeah,
like a
they showed
documentary,
that
but
they
it
had
was
some
BS.
politician and some senator in there who really wasn't a senator; he was an actor.
Oh, okay.
And then they had a guy, what's her face, Sharon Stone, the actress, pretending that she was on the tour with them and stuff. Like it was just they just made up a bunch of stuff.
Oh, okay. I think I got that confused with the Scorsese one.
No, the Scorsese one's pretty good.
Legit.
Well, the other one's good too, but it's just take it with a grain of salt.
I know, right? I never saw the one either where all the different actors played Dylan.
I've never watched that either.
I think Sam said he liked that,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. One episode of New Country Music. Yeah, I'll have to see it. Anything Ken Burns, I try to give it a go. I want to go back and rewatch all those docs. So
I think John
Steve's
would be
getting back.
happy if you just send him an airbag CD, Steve. I know that pleased me.
I knew it's Steve. Hold on. Yep, see, going back and forth. That's funny. I need to see the Cosmic Torpedoes with Kazoo John. I actually have a, because I have all these old recordings that I used to do with Gary. We used to just record whatever, and I was going back, getting them all off a tape and putting them on the CD. And there's a song, I don't know if Gary remembers the name of the song, but we're playing and playing, and we're having a discussion afterwards. And it's like, you're not playing this correctly. I'm like, it's a kazoo solo. I'm like seriously fighting with him, going, it's a kazoo solo. What am I supposed to do here? So we're like arguing about how the kazoo should sound on a freaking song. So I'll have to find that sound clip and put it in one of my videos. But yeah, we have a lot of tapes that we did as kids, like just different sample songs and things.
Oh,
But
that's funny.
yeah, we were old school. Like he had a 4-track, I remember, but I had like 2 radios. So I would record into one radio, and then I'd pass it over into the next radio and then play over it, like
Oh,
overdub
wow.
it.
Okay.
So by the time it was like really cloudy sounding, but I could hear all these different parts that I was doing, going recorder to recorder, back and forth. So it
That's
was the poor
hilarious.
man's 4-track, I called it. Oh, Amazon, for the Wayne Shorter, I think he was talking about.
Oh, okay. Amazon Prime. I have
Uh,
Tarantula. It's poetry. Yeah. Well, if you want to call it it's pretty weird poetry.
yeah, I even that last book that Dylan put out, I haven't finished it, where he was breaking down all those different songs.
I haven't even bought it yet.
He was like, yeah, he's just going places with this. It's like you almost have to get on the Dylan train and go,
Yeah.
to find out what the heck he's talking about here.
Yeah, I
But
don't know if
it's
I'm ever going to buy it. If I see it at the library, I might borrow it and read it or something. But
yeah, I just saw it at like Barnes and Noble. They have it like 50% off because it's been like out for a year or so now. But yeah, it's like you get on that, you gotta just get in his mind and say, where are you going? How did you hear that in this song? And he reviews some interesting songs that you wouldn't think he would. Let's see. They use lots of the same footage. I don't know. I'm losing track of what she was talking about here on the country one.
probably.
On another note, everyone go wish
I
Beetle
did go to
Brad.
Beetle Brad's channel and wish him well. He's having some kind of episode. Go and give him your love.
Oh, okay. I guess your buddy, Stud Muffin here has got the COVID.
He's not. I was emailing him back and forth this morning. He's not feeling well.
Yeah, he said he's going to take a break from the videos, which
Yeah.
he's not feeling.
Yeah,
I
think
kind
I'm
of
gonna
wondered
have
the other.
to go over and rub some Vicks on his chest or something.
There you go. You can sing a soft kitty to him.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do something for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of had the sniffles the other day, and I know COVID's making a little rearing its ugly head again.
Yeah, it's making it. It's ugly up here now. I don't know if it's like that down there. So we've been wearing masks again.
Yeah, there have been some cases close to me. Yeah, some people have gotten it.
There's
luckily, a lot of people.
a new shot coming out. So
Yeah, another booster or whatever.
yeah, I'm definitely going to get it because I got to start working in the hockey arena in another month, and I'll be around 4,000 people every game, and I don't need that.
Wow. Yeah, that's not good timing for that now. I was wondering if cases were going to go up too, because now everybody's back at the football games and gathering.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So yeah, it's not fun. Yeah, thumbs up. That's right. Give me a thumbs up. This is the most people I've ever had together. Like we were up to 10. I was like proud of myself.
How many people are watching?
Like 8 right now. I see.
Oh,
steady. That's cool. I think it's consistency, and that's what I hate. I always want to go up with you guys every Wednesday. You don't know how bad I want to go up, but I told you before, I just won't go up if I know I'm gonna get interrupted and be a distraction to the stream. So.
Oh, this is funny. Sorry, I'm going down. I'm seeing Steve's next comment.
Let me get down a little bit here. You can get that back for like $20.
Yeah, I figure I'm gonna pick that book up for $10 one day. Larry just sent out his Patreon members. So Steve, you pay $2 a month just so Larry can keep you up to date on his health.
Now there you go.
I don't pay a dime, and I just phone him and say, "Hey, you doing?"
Well, you have that close relationship. You know, when you know the star, it's a whole different thing for you. That's the thing.
He always teases me
Yeah,
for a joint.
yeah. He's really pushing the Patreon thing, which I can see. You know, YouTube's turning a lot of people off of their rules, and you know, a
Yeah.
lot of craziness. I guess Rachel got demonetized
You know,
because she was making.
Larry works hard at his craft, and he puts out a lot of content for people. So, if I had a Patreon page, I'd have a hard time coming up with shit to do that people would pay to watch. But
Well,
Larry very actively works on it.
he's doing similar things to you. I mean, he's just doing top tens and
Yeah,
um, listening to an album or a song, and I mean, it's amazing what people will pay for. I mean, I think he's mellowed out. Like it's his personality too. You just kind of wonder what he's going to say, and
yeah.
you always have to watch his video to go, okay,
Yeah.
is he messing with us here?
Holy crap,
You
Steve!
know
Steve pays $20 a month.
what? Okay, let me see. Or do you have to kiss every guest that enters the arena, Glenn? You're gonna have to kiss everybody at the hockey arena.
Well, oh yeah.
Welcome, welcome,
Yeah.
Let's see. He's a $20 member. All right.
Wow, Steve's got lots of money.
All right, Steve. I'm opening a Patreon.
Steve, you're buying the beer when we go to Tulsa. If you can afford $20 a
Yeah,
month,
honestly.
yeah.
Yeah. So, Steve,
Gee.
what are we getting? What are we missing that we're not getting? That you're getting for the Patreon thing? That's what I like to know. We get the edited, sped up videos when he does a
I think
song.
Larry sends him naked pictures or something, like privately or something.
Could be.
Yeah, it's got to be something going on.
Yeah, there's something fishy there. On and off YouTube can be taxing. Yeah, if you let it be. Like in the beginning, I let it overwhelm me. I was like, oh, I have to have a video out every Monday. I have to have a video out, twice a week, and it was becoming overwhelming and not fun anymore. So now it's like, I don't care if I don't miss a deadline and I put a video out, I still see the same number of people, if not more, watch my videos. So I'm like, I don't need to do them every Monday.
I do one every second day.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. Well, because I'm retired too. Like it makes a big difference.
Yeah, but you're
not working.
Yeah, and you're doing it like, oh, I feel like doing it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna make a video.
Yeah. I do
and you
one.
do the one
spend 2 days fretting about coming up with the next topic. Like,
there's so much stuff. That's like when Rob was getting a block of what am I going to do. I'm like, there's so much material. Just go copy somebody.
yeah,
That's what we do. We go, hey, I like that idea. I'm going to run with it. I have one that's going to be. I have an idea and I don't want to tell anybody. I'm just going to do something. I'm going to put it out there and see how people react to this video. It's going to be different than anybody. I'm stealing the title from, I think it was Monty Python or one of the British shows, and now for something completely different. You'll see. When you see that title, expect something weird.
Okay, good. I'll look forward to that.
It's either going to make me or break me in the VC.
Marsha P, the philosopher. I love this.
Let's see. It's greater sin than making a bad one.
That's a great comment. Wow, I love that, Marsha.
Yeah, there is definitely a difference between boring and
that on
bad.
Your wall. That's true. Making a boring album is greater sin than making a bad one. Yeah, at least if you made a bad one, you tried to do something different, maybe. Or
yeah, I think they were talking about printing that on a T-shirt last night. Yep, there you go. You got to have merch. See, that's one thing either. I never got into doing merch.
Well, there's a way to do merch where you don't have to pay for it, right? Rob's looking into that. Like all you do is like you just go to the company, whatever it is, and they do all the merch, and they sell like when people order it, and then you just get like $3 for everything they order or something.
Yeah, not a bad deal. I mean,
no, that's not a bad deal because I'm thinking about doing that.
I think you need another whack-a-mole gun. I love that you kept it honest too, Glenn. That you're like, I have no idea what the hell's on this album.
Yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, that's beautiful. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see you know everything because I know I'd be the. That's why I don't do a whack-a-mole because I have so many records that I'm like,
Yeah, I got to do another one. Yeah, but
yeah,
the
that
same
was.
thing will happen. I've got whole bunch of CDs that I either have never listened to or don't haven't listened to in so long that I can't remember the songs on them.
I know. That's the
Like,
crazy
I'll
thing.
pick up,
I
like,
just
I
love
like
it.
REM, so I'll pick up like Green. I picked up Green. I don't know if I've ever listened to it. Maybe I listened to it once and went, I don't like that one as much, and never listened to it again.
Yeah, it's too bad about your the one you picked up at the record show,
Yeah, the
document.
pressing's really bad. I'm gonna try cleaning it. I've cleaned it twice, and it's not cleaning it up.
Was that
It
on just
it's so
black vinyl?
noisy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was it on black vinyl only?
yeah,
Huh. Because I picked up that Tom Waits Alice album, and something about the gold vinyl. I'm starting to get a little suspicious about gold vinyl when they do gold. Yeah, I think it's a gold color because the Tom Waits was noisy, and I have a Black Pumas where one was on a red vinyl and one was on a gold vinyl, and the gold vinyl was noisier. And I'm not into the theory of colored vinyl brings more
yeah,
noise, but I'm starting to see a little connection, and I don't know, maybe also because the record sleeve is more of that plastic
yeah,
or the not cardboard, more paper.
yeah,
And I wonder if maybe too much static with it being in there.
yeah.
It was almost like you had to pry it out of that thing.
Oh wow.
Uh, so I wonder if maybe it has something to do with the static, because won't you get a lot of pops if there's a lot of static going on? So I wonder if that's what happened. But yeah, I tried to clean it up some more, but yeah, I was a little disappointed. I like that album, Alice. That's where he's still kind of Tom Waits, but he's gonna get a little weird on you here
Yeah, yeah,
too,
yeah.
where he has that
Borders on
poor
weird.
Edward. Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
still good because if you read those lyrics, you know, he's theatrical.
yeah.
But he's like grungy theatrical. I love it. I like everything he does. Yeah,
I
he's
have Alice
gritty. That's what I
CD.
like
I
about it.
should get that vinyl.
Yeah. Have you the other ones come out yet? It's September.
Oh,
Have you
September
seen any?
29th, I think.
Oh, so that's when the first. Okay, so it's the
Yeah.
end. Okay.
First three on the 29th, and the next one's a week after.
All right. Cool. Yeah, I want to get those. Let's see.
Oh, Marcia said that great comment about presence. I saw that part of the song. I missed your comment, but that's yeah. I don't find presence boring. So I find maybe it's a bit weak, but I don't find it uninspired.
I'm gonna take a call. Can you hold
You
the
can
show
hold the
for a
fort.
second? Okay.
You just have to listen to Achilles' Last Stand on Presence, and right away it's just like the killer album. And T for Two at the end, it's just a good blues song. It's kind of similar to Since I've Been Loving You, but it's still a good blues. They do such a great job on blues. So there's a couple of songs in there I really like. And Sam, have either of you? Sam, I have not ordered any of it yet. I'm trying to find some money. That's my big problem. I've got I want to get the new Steven Wilson. I want to get the Zappa set. Lydia Lovelace, Lowest of the Low. I just did a video this morning. Like there's about freaking plus the weight stuff. I need about $400 to get out everything I want over the next 2 months.
Yeah. How many albums does he have? He has a lot of material, right? Tom Waits.
Tom Waits?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know if I need all 5 of those albums. Like there's like Black Rider I don't even like. So I don't know why I'd buy it on vinyl.
So
I'm
what is
really
it
just
about that one that
interested in
kind of
Rain Dogs and Bone Machine.
okay? What is it about? So there you talk about being your comfort zone or whatever. What is it
Yeah,
about
it's
that
just
that
not. I just don't think it's a good record. It's like you mentioned Dallas, how it borders on the absurd or whatever you want to say. Yeah, that whole Black Rider album to me is kind of not that good.
See, I'm probably gonna like that more because he did that one song. Uh, he's just like roll, 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 and you don't know what he's saying.
Yeah,
And I'm like, yeah.
yeah.
I'm
You
like, yeah,
probably right.
okay, this is cool. I don't know why I get into that, but I think I like it because he's not afraid to just do what he feels.
Oh yeah,
He's he's like, screw it, I'm gonna just do this weird thing. But there's always something going on in there that fascinates you, you know. And I've always been more reserved when I write a song. I'm like, oh, it's got to be perfect and whatever. But when these guys can just let it go, like Bowie can
Yeah.
just let it go, Zappa can let it go, and just not care. I'm gonna throw it out there. I don't care if you like it or not. This is me. So that's what I love. So let's see. Presence always seemed it wasn't quite finished. Something missing.
Well,
Yeah,
they were nearing the end. I don't think, like, I know, they split up because Bonham died, but I think they were done musically when Bonham died. Like, In Through the Outdoors is not a good record. Presence is starting to get weak. That's when everything up until then, you could argue, was a pretty good darn record, and Presence has its great spots and weak spots, and then In Through the Outdoors mostly weak, and then they were done. It was over.
yeah, and that's where I still have to get more familiar with Led Zeppelin. Because I always forget the order of events. Like when I
After
started
Houses of the
counting,
Holy, it's over
okay. So
for
Physical
me.
Graffiti was before Houses of the Holy, right?
I'm
You
sure
had
the
Physical
Physical Graffiti was before Houses of the Holy, yeah,
and
not
Houses.
before. Oh, I know.
Okay,
Yeah, I think it was that. Yeah, I think that's the way it went.
okay. And
I
then,
mixed up Houses of the Holy and Physical Graffiti. Maybe it was the other way around. But anyway, they were the last two good ones.
well, there's so much music on there. I mean, even the first Led Zeppelin album. I mean, how many songs? Maybe 12 songs on that album. It just felt
Yeah,
long. It
probably
felt
eight,
like,
probably 8 or 9. Yeah,
is that it? Because it feels like a long album.
yeah.
And then when they got into double albums, there's like
Well, they
so
have
much music.
3 of the songs on there. Well, a lot of the songs are long, right? I mean, there's 6, 8, 10-minute songs on that first album. A
Yeah,
few of them.
Page just had so much to get out, you know,
Yeah,
musically. I say Presence was missing inspiration and enthusiasm.
yeah. I think, yeah, I agree.
But then Scott comes in with boom, I like the Presence album.
Yeah,
So there
I
you
do
go.
too. I'm not putting it down. I just think if you compare their whole catalog, I mean, it's better than most bands will do, but
Yeah,
it's, I don't know. I think it's kind of a step down from previous.
yeah. Achilles deserves to be on a better album.
Yeah. Okay. We'll let you go, Marcia. I mean, you don't have to
Let's
leave.
see.
I mean, we'll let you go with that comment.
I'm waiting for the prices to drop when they're released. Oh, I think he's talking about the Tom Waits.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see.
So me and Sam meet on the Alice train there.
I think I answered my question, Glenn. You're getting the overnight. Oh, yeah. It's pre-ordered, man. I want that the first day it's out. That's going to be, I mean, they've released some incredible Zappa stuff over the last couple of years, and this is going to be maybe the best one.
That's the one with the ballroom look on the album cover. Was that
With the
the
what?
Overnight Sensation?
It's
Like
got
it
the.
looks like a big
It's
ballroom or
like a,
something.
I don't know how to describe the Overnight Sensation cover. It's the same cover. It's the covers on the box is the same.
Yeah, I'm looking
Four
for
CDs
that
and
one.
a Blu-ray.
Wow.
2 live shows. I think one from Hollywood Palladium, one from Cobo Hall. The album,
Oh no. Okay, I got
and
you.
then a
That's
bunch
that
of
album. Oh,
bonus
I have that.
material stuff. It's going to be killer.
Oh, I like that album. Because
That's
wasn't
his best band.
is that where Frank the Pimp on that one?
That's with
Or no,
what?
that's Hot Rats. Frank. Oh no, whatever the Pimp.
It's
Whatever
got
his.
Dynamo Hum on it and Montana
Okay.
and yeah.
Which one had the Pimp? What's his name? Something the Pimp.
Oh, Willie the Pimp. That's on Hot Rats.
Hot Rats. Okay. See, I'm still getting my, but yeah, I have this album. Yeah, because you can open it up and it has the whole design. It's like and there's different things in there that have to do with the songs that are on the
Yeah.
album. Yeah, I
It's
like
going
the
to be a
artwork.
great set.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look for
90
that. I'm
bucks,
looking for.
$90 up here.
So it's $90 for what do you get?
Canadian. 5 discs.
Okay. Anything
Right.
else? Like
Well, I mean, that's 2 live shows and a bonus material and the album and then a Blu-ray if you're into that. The 5.1.
it doesn't sound too bad. I mean, Not too bad. Frank's Wild Years, I was obsessed with back in the day.
Yeah, don't ask, don't. Yeah, yeah. Frank's Wild Years. Yeah, that's a good album too.
I bet if Tom Waits records again, it'd be a record. Oh, records again. That's me not being able to read. Record unlike any other work, completely different style. Yeah.
Well,
Did you see him?
Retired to me.
Did you see him in the Ballad of, I think it's Ballad of Buster
Yeah,
Scruggs,
that was awesome.
where he was that. I loved his role.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah.
It was such a weird movie, but I
Oh, that's
loved
a
every
great
bit of
movie. I
that.
love that movie. That was great.
And they were styling that first character where he comes in and he's in white and he goes, "Well, we have to put our
Yeah,
guns away" and all that. They're styling after like Warner Brothers, like Bugs Bunny and
yeah,
Yosemite Sam.
yeah, yeah,
I had no idea, and I was like, "Oh, that's funny, man."
yeah,
And he's got that bullet right through his head. He's like, "Oh, well, that's not good."
yeah, yeah. That's not good. Yeah, that
Yeah,
the whole first the first segment was just classic.
yeah, and yeah, even the birds. Oh, that's so the
Yeah,
wings that he's flying off to heaven. That's so dark humor, Coen Brothers. I love
yeah.
that stuff. For Your Life, the C rhythmic H. I don't know what that is. That a Zappa?
That's on Presents, I think.
Oh,
Oh, Steve straightened it out for us. Houses of the Holy, then PG. Thanks, Steve. I was getting a having a seniors moment. Appreciate it.
when is he going live to do the contest? Or is he just
Probably
doing a
not.
video? Okay. Let's review a remastering of the Who's Next, the sound quality compared to, well, there you, oh, okay. I don't know if Steve's going to do that, but he's going to do the unboxing now. It
I
sounds
would
like.
like to hear the sound quality on the vinyl too. I'm kind of confused on what they did with the vinyl reissue. Did they half mastered it, or what did they do to it?
I don't know. I know nothing about that.
Because
Not sure
Who's
what they.
Next has a lot. Like there's a lot of there's a the originals, and then some of the reissues over the years have not been very good. So I'd really like to get a great copy of it. I'm hoping the new vinyl's good, and I'll grab it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I have. I think I had an original that was Poppy, and I released it. I replaced it with a reissue later. That's just I love that album. That's just such a. And I'm not a huge Who guy. I can't get into a lot of their stuff, but that album is like perfect for me.
Yeah, it's a great album.
I always thought Present seemed like a Page
Yeah, because
project
it's a
more than
heavy
a Zeppelin.
guitar album, right?
Yeah, intricate guitar parts, but not enough input from Plant and Jones. Into the Outdoor seems like the opposite. Wasn't Presence? No, wasn't that during the time where Page was going, or not Page, but Plant was going through a lot of personal things
Probably. It could have been,
or something?
yeah, that could have been when his son died or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah. The song House of Holies. Yeah, House of the Holies on Physical Graffiti and Physical Graffiti.
Well, it's easy to confuse because I'm old too, Marcia. It's
Let's
I
not forget
confuse
that
easily
factor.
these days. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of things get. Yeah, I was doing a whole thing with the Allman Brothers and getting Dwayne and Greg all mixed up. Gary pointed it out. He's like, I came back talking about the right people, but at one point during the conversation, I had them all screwed up. He's like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Are you an
So,
Allman Brothers
yeah,
fan? Because I love the Allman
I'm
Brothers. No one ever talks about them.
I'm getting into them. I need to get into them more. I've been introduced to a lot of their music, and I'm on the verge of becoming more of an Allman Brother fan. Yeah,
What
I
albums
need
do
to
you
get
have?
Eat a Peach now.
Eat a
I
Peach.
had I had Eat a Peach, but it was such bad shape I got rid of it. And then I had Live at the Fillmore, and it was
Oh
the
yeah,
same case.
must
And I
have
just
album.
never, huh? Yeah, the Fillmore, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just never got back to it. But lately, my interest is peaking, and you'll see it in my next video here. I actually did a song off Eat a Peach, and I'm like, yeah, I got to get that album.
Oh, it's a
So
great album.
and Gary, I think Gary gave me the Memory of Elizabeth Reed or whatever, that instrumental.
Yeah, that's on. Well, that's on the live album. Plus, it's on. I'm not sure if it's on. It's on their debut album, just called the Allman Brothers Band, or Idlewild South is their second album. I can't remember which one it's on.
been a little while. So yeah, they're creeping up on me. So you'll probably hear me talking about them more as we get into this.
And the later stuff
Uh,
with Derek Trucks and Warren Hayes, when they're double guitar in the band, is great. They
yeah, I always
play
like
some
that sound.
stuff.
Yeah, with two
Yeah,
guitars going, like when the Eagles
yeah,
did
they're
it.
amazing.
Rhythmic changes on For Your Life, so good. The first one only had a few songs. Physical Graffiti after Houses of the
Yeah,
Holy. Remember the title track ended up
yeah,
on.
it was weird, that title track for the album ended up on Physical Graffiti.
I
Because I
wanted
think
to
with
work.
Physical Graffiti, they had too many songs for a single album, but they didn't have enough songs for a double album, so they started to look back and take some of the outtakes from Houses of the Holy and put them on Physical Graffiti. I think that's what happened. They had
Huh.
some stuff in the tank that they didn't use, so they stretched it to make the double album.
All of
All,
My Love was
all
it?
of my love.
Here we go.
Uh,
Yeah, it was weird. Like in the ocean, talking about like I don't know if they put an effect on Plant's voice on that, but he was like really high and the vocals were really odd on that one. And
yeah.
I don't know if he was singing at a high level or was the effect that they put on his voice, but he had a really weird sound on that song. Quad mix, is that you
I
talking
think
about the Who?
Michael is he referring to the Zappa release, because there's the Blu-ray disc has the quad, like Frank was experimenting with quadraphonic sound back then, and they've included the quad mix of Overnight Sensation on the Blu-ray. Now I'm
Okay,
not
yeah.
sure if you have 5.1 with a surround sound, whether that means you can listen to quad, or I don't know how that works.
I was wondering about that the other day because somebody said that. I'm like, well, if you have surround sound, yeah, is it the same thing as buying, that's your
Yeah,
modern day quad system?
too gimmicky for me. I just like 2 channel. I just give me a good stereo.
Hey, Nick,
Hello, Nick.
Nick, I'll take a, what's it called? I'll take a hoagie, Nick, and a Diet Coke and some fries. 'Cause I think he's probably at work right now, running the shop.
Yeah, Tina Turner sang backup on that album. That's right.
Really? On Overnight
Yeah.
Sensation?
Yeah.
For $25 a song. Wow. There's a couple of her earlier albums that I wouldn't mind. She did an album that sounds kind of country. I think it's one of the first albums she did after she split from Ike,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of caught my interest. I'm gonna have to
Oh,
check some of her stuff out. Yeah, I never
I
got
wouldn't
into
mind a
really
good Ike
private
and Tina
music.
Turner album. I don't have any of their when they were together. I mean, they had a great band.
Yeah, yeah, but everybody gets so. I think the whole thing with the way he treated her, like,
Yeah.
just sours everybody. It's like when I see a Bill Cosby album now, I see so many of them, and I grew up on Bill Cosby. But I'm like, ugh, I don't even want to
Oh
look
yeah,
at it
it's
anymore.
disgusting.
Yeah, no dark streets. Yeah, it's daylight. Actually, it's pretty nice out right now. It's 93, but it's not as hot. So you can feel the change in the air. So
The
there'll
ocean
be
doesn't
more.
want me today.
Yeah, the what?
Rob,
Hey, there's Rob. If anybody wants to come up, let me know. Just holler and I'll put a link. I'm probably gonna be on for another 20 minutes, a half hour. Then I
half
got to pick up the
master
kid.
per. What's Michael? Half master per In Grooves video Atmos mix is crazy good on Apple Music. Are you talking about the Who's Next thing here? Half master
If
per
that's
In
Michael,
Grooves
probably.
video. Okay.
Yeah, because he commented about the Zappa
Okay,
album up
because
there.
I might think I want to grab the 2 CD set so I can have some of the extras, and then I want to get the vinyl. Who's Next? That'll be enough.
Now it's interesting, right? So they'll do this half speed mastering, but you still play it at 33. They don't change it to 45, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that always. How do they do that? So when they do it
Well,
at
they slow it
45,
down
it's
when they're
just
mastering it. I don't know how if that allows them to pick up more detail when it's being mastered. I don't know. It has
yeah.
nothing to do with your playback speed. It just has the way they master the recording.
Yeah. So I can't get into it. Ruins it for me, and I think you said the same thing. When you do it at 45, you get like 2 songs per
And no,
side.
it's no buy for me. I don't care what.
Yeah,
It could be the greatest album of all time. If it's on 45, I'm not. I can't do it.
yeah, and I'm there now. And Gary's saying, yeah, it was Idlewild South was Elizabeth Reed or whatever. And that was an interesting story because it was kind of like the Layla story. I think I forgot who wrote the song, but he was in love with somebody else. It was a forbidden thing, kind of like Clapton and the Layla thing. So he took the name Elizabeth Reed off of a tombstone where he was
Yeah,
writing the song. Yeah. So I love those stories,
yeah. Idlewild South. Okay, that's what Elizabeth Reed's on. Okay, thanks. I have a
Yeah,
patient. See you guys.
that throws me off, Scott. I don't know if he's still here, but I know he does. Now, Scott does a local 88.5 radio station here, and he has a 4 hour block or whatever on Thursdays. But he has a patient. What does Scott do? Now I'm confused of what
He's a
Scott does here.
gynecologist.
I guess. Well, there you go. That's not
Yeah.
a bad profession. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it could be, but there could be some ups and downs with that profession. But yeah, so that's
Everybody's
I
left
don't.
us.
Well, we got 9 people are being quiet.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, come on, people, speak up.
We're probably up on. Oh, I don't know because Gary's actually writing in there. He usually watches on his television, so he's actually commenting today.
Have you got anything on order or anything you're waiting for?
No, actually, I'm trying to slow it down. I have, how you end up with the stack of records on the floor that you need to go through. I'm still doing that between the record show and a couple pickups, the Banana Records thing. I still have a recent grabs to film. So no, I don't really order online or anything. I get mostly everything in person.
I went through a very weird thing yesterday that never happens to me in my whole life. Is I was bored with everything I played yesterday. I could not find an album that I had any interest in whatsoever. I must have changed halfway through a record about 10 frickin' times and nothing would satisfy my I don't know what I wanted to hear. I'll try a jazz. No, that's not working. I put on a Dylan. Put on. Then I thought, oh, I really like. I'll put on the beat. No, it didn't matter what it was. I was just going, oh, I don't feel like listening to that.
Do you think it was the kind of like your mood? It's kind of like when you're reading sometimes. You can be really into the story, but you just don't, you're not feeling it, like
Yeah, I
reading.
don't know. It's just, oh.
But then you go, how can that be? Because I love music so much.
Yeah, I never have that problem. I can just put on anything and pretty much it leads to something else,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, that rabbit hole. Yeah. Especially you listen to a jazz album and go, ooh, well, now I'm in the mood for this jazz album. So you think he was he's a physical therapist. Okay. I always wondered what he did. I didn't know if he did just the DJ thing or whatever. But Scott seems to find these little jazz gigs. He went to something in St. Pete, I think, and they did like an Art Blakey tribute. And I'm like, where are these things? I never hear of these. So I'm gonna
That
have
would be
to.
cool. Yeah, that's what when I was down in Orlando, that's what I was looking for, is some place to go where I could just hear some jazz or hear something. I couldn't find anything.
Sometimes, believe it or not, like that downtown Disney area, they'll break it up into different genres
Yeah.
as you walk around the place. It's not too bad.
Well, they got some. My brother-in-law or my son-in-law, my son-in-law was trying to get me to go to one of those piano bars where they have the two guys playing the pianos and doing songs and stuff. But
Yeah, How About the Moon? I
that
think it's
doesn't.
called.
I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, well, you're gonna get a lot of Billy Joel in there, a lot of Elton John.
Yeah, yeah. It's too poppy for me. It's just too. It's almost like karaoke or something.
PT today. I don't know. What is PT? What's PT? What's PT, Nick?
Physical therapy.
Oh, so okay, but it can't be Scott helping you. So you have PT today, and Scott's. That's interesting. Is that our dynamic right now? Either
What's
you're
on
somebody's giving.
iDrive? Marcia says something's on iDrive. Is that the piano guy? iDrive, isn't that where is that where the Disney thing is, or one of those places? Didn't they see it? Don't they have
Independence Drive or is there an Independence Drive or something over there on the main street that goes through there by it's not downtown Disney, it's Disney Springs, I
the
think they call
piano
it.
bar? Yeah, the piano bar's on iDrive. Yeah.
International Drive. That's what she's
Yeah,
talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
don't know. I've only heard of it. I've never gone. I
yeah.
think it was
It
called
didn't turn my
House
crank.
Elvis.
I don't want to hear people singing popular songs like that. Then the crowd starts
Yeah,
singing along and everything. I feel like I'm at a cheesy karaoke bar or something.
yeah. Not enough beer for that, huh?
Oh, in the military, PT is physical training. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I wouldn't know that. As soon as you say the word physical, I kind of you lose me.
yeah. I have to move. I have to be active. No, this is active. I want to get is putting my headphones on and listening to an album, dropping a needle.
Yeah, I've been to I
Uh,
Drive and all that touristy stuff, the outlet malls, and
yeah, big thing around there now is they're doing a lot of those the rooms, the what they call the like mystery rooms. You go in and you have to figure
oh,
out a
you
puzzle.
got to find your way out.
Yeah, I feel
They
like an idiot in there. I'm like a dumbass when I do those things.
supposedly
Like
I heard today that there's like a bear running around Disney or something. They closed some of the park because there's a bear got loose or something.
I didn't hear that. Doesn't
Yeah,
surprise me. I know you got to keep your kids away from the lakes. That poor kid that one time they're taking a family picture and a gator came out of one of those Disney lakes and dragged
oh,
them right in. Disney bear. Let's see. Oh, black bear sighting and tree at Disney World triggers closures at Magic Kingdom. Yeah.
crazy.
Well, we have Florida black bears. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. So they closed part of the park. That's interesting.
Yeah, just come to
Bear
Toronto for your
captured.
Disney news. Keep
You
you
guys have
filled
to.
with Florida news.
Right. Yeah. It's like you drove all the way down to Orlando to get that band from
Yeah,
Canada.
yeah, to get the album from a my guy from my home lived up the street from me.
Yeah. It seems like sometimes you have to travel far to get something near. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Let's see. When we should have
Oh,
gone to
thanks
the.
to that oompa music. Yeah, no, I can't do that either.
I haven't heard of the
Although
Willow
I did
Tree.
go to the Fiddler's Green, I think it's called, that pub. They had a really good Irish guy singing Irish songs the other when we were there. That was good.
Yeah, there's a decent little Irish pub dinner place in Disney Springs also. They have a show and
Yeah.
bring the kids up on stage and let them perform and all that stuff. I'd like to see some. I wouldn't mind seeing some jazz live. I've never seen it live, so that's something I want to do. See
Oh
some
yeah, it'd be
good.
cool. Yeah. Yeah. You can see who's playing around. It's yeah.
Were you able to now able to see like any jazz musicians in your travels? Like you've seen Hendrix and all those
I've
guys?
seen who have I seen? Well, one of my favorite. Well, you don't like jazz piano, but one of my favorite jazz artists is a Japanese woman named Hiromi.
Huh.
I saw her at the Montreal Jazz Festival. So I've been to places like the Montreal Jazz Festival and saw a bunch of um, people that I don't really know who they are. They're just kind of local jazz guys. But I saw Jean-Luc Ponty and Stanley Clark at in Toronto.
See,
And
Ponte, I think I would like to see live, but like I don't get into his albums. The couple that I've heard, I know you're a fan. Um, but I think live, some of these artists, you might not buy their albums, but seeing
yeah,
them live would be a whole different thing. I think.
yeah.
So DJ, I DJ, so I play multiple genres. But how? I mean, you usually try to get people up and dancing and stuff. So do you
Yeah,
play
I
blues?
couldn't be a DJ. They people be going, "Would you take that off? That you can't. We can't dance to that."
Dance to that
Yeah, well,
weird
I'm
Pink
not
Floyd
playing
song?
disco.
Just start handing out
Yeah,
the acid. Here
yeah.
you go.
How long is this song in memory of Elizabeth Reed?
Right.
No one's dancing. Oh, you have to wait another 15 minutes. It'll be over.
Yeah, imagine DJing some of that live Grateful Dead stuff. Hold
Yeah,
on, it's
Dark
not over.
Star,
I gotta flip the
35-minute
album.
Dark Star. I'll be
Yeah,
back.
I'm taking a break. Here you
Oh,
go.
that'd be awesome. How long would you keep your job? Yes,
Yeah.
Fiddler's Green was fun. Boy, it was full of college, like young people, just having a great time. Yeah.
I don't know any of these. Well, I don't know that area either. So Fiddler's Green. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, we usually, we go to Orlando and we're in a resort and we don't really go far.
Orlando needs more music venues. I'm on their mailing list at that Phillips Dr. Phillips Center or whatever it's called, where I saw John Hyatt and Buddy Guy. So I'm
Yeah.
always watching to see who's playing there. But they haven't had a good show come up for a while. Oh, here, Michael. I saw Hiromi at the Musical Instrument Museum here in Phoenix. She is amazing, absolutely incredible. Yeah, the Trio Project albums are great. Oh man, yeah, she's like just the most coolest woman on earth.
I'm gonna.
You should check out her videos on YouTube. She's so energetic.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna queue her up so I don't forget her.
Yeah, yeah. Look up her stuff. I think it's called Sonic Boom, the band where it kind of got a little more crazy and kind of cool. Sonic something.
So
It's got two or
let's
three
see.
albums. That's Sonic, and she did a great album with Stanley Clarke and called Jazz in the Garden. Really good album.
Is it Sonic Wonder? No,
No, I can't remember.
that's not it because it
If you just
changed
look
it to
up her
something.
discography, you'll see.
Yeah. Hironi.
But yeah, check out Jazz in the Garden. It's a Stanley Clarke album with her and I forget who the other guy on it is. Yeah, she's Alive. Yeah, that's one of the good albums. Alive is a great album.
Now, do you ever go see like any of these like tribute bands where it's like Pink Floyd tribute and they do all the Pink Floyd
I've
band
been to a
music?
couple of the classic album live bands. Actually, Marsha was asking me about that at one point. I saw a Fleetwood Mac one and I saw a Zeppelin one. They were both really good.
Okay. I always kind of wondered about. Oh, here it is. Okay. Yeah, I always wondered about that. I saw the like a Beatles tribute band at the Capitol Theater, and I loved it because they went through from the beginning and they did
Yeah,
costume changes, and they went through the whole thing. So it was pretty neat to see.
yeah,
But I always have a hard time seeing a band that's not the band. You
yeah.
know.
Well, the ones that do like they called classic albums live, they're all session musicians and they do the albums like they do them so well. The Zeppelin one I saw was absolutely outstanding. They did Led Zeppelin 4 and Physical Graffiti in their entirety. I mean,
Mm.
it was awesome.
Yeah, I guess seeing that live and
Yeah,
the especially an album like that with those guitar parts that would be pretty amazing.
yeah,
Live is a great album.
yeah. That's a Hiromi album. That is one of my favorites.
Okay.
I've got about 10
They
of
have,
her albums, so they all kind of.
there's one, yeah, here, the Stanley Clarke Trio with Hiromi and Lenny White.
Lenny White, yeah, that's it. Jazz in the Garden, great album.
Okay. The Stanley Clarke is what, guitar, and then is
Bass player.
okay. Oh, cool. I'll have to check that out. I haven't found any real modern jazz artists that I get
Yeah.
into. There was one. She's a sax player. She's Spanish. I can't think of her name. I did get.
Have you listened to Kamasi Washington? Oh, you froze up on me. John's frozen. I don't know if he's frozen to everybody else. I'm not frozen, so I'm not sure what's happening here. John, you with me? Or am I with you? Let's see what else is going on here. I don't know if I can't make these things go. I'm going to talk, but I'm not sure if anybody can hear me. Back, not back. John, John, John. I don't know if I'm gone or John's gone. Oh, I'm all by myself now. And it says I'm live. I'm in the show. I would keep talking, but I'm not sure if I should be. Can someone let me know if they can? I can see you, Glenn. Thanks, Marcia. So John's gone. All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate that because I'm never sure if I'm just sitting here acting like an idiot. John is frozen. Okay, cool. So, Alive is a great album. Beck, not back. Yeah, Beck is amazing. I'm a big Beck fan. What was the last album you expected to dislike but loved it? Whoa, that's a great question. It probably would have been something on a CD exchange with Larry Graves. Actually, I didn't mind the new Sparks album. Girl is Crying in Her Latte. I'm not a big Sparks fan, but I didn't mind that album. Hiromi has a new album coming out soon. Awesome. Fab Four is a great Beatles tribute band. I've seen the Beatles and Tom Petty classic albums. Yeah, they are good. I don't have any Zappa albums. What do you recommend as a starter? I would say Apostrophe. Here we go. You back?
There we go.
Oh,
You're back.
hey.
I'm running this off a hotspot.
Okay, cool. I couldn't tell if I was gone and I'm
Running
sitting
off
here
a
talking
hotspot.
about, am I here by myself? Or...
That's
Frozen,
weird how
John,
it lets you stay up, but I lost my internet connection. Yeah. Gary called me. He's like, "Are you going back up?" I'm like, "Okay." Yeah,
so
my hotspot. I don't know if it's.
You were mentioning that newer jazz artists. Have you listened to Kamasi Washington?
No, I haven't even heard of. No.
There's an album called The Epic. It's a triple album set. It is freaking fantastic. He's a sax player.
Okay.
Can be a little Coltrane-ish, but most of it not. But he can all of a sudden he just does go into these ungodly kind of sounds out of his sax, but just a brilliant record.
I don't mind it if I don't mind that if it does it for a little bit and kind of comes back, but when it's just that.
Oh yeah, listen to the Epic. I got to see what you think of that album.
Okay, yeah, I just queued that one up too, so I'm gonna check that out.
You didn't like those CDs? I'm sorry, I'm reading along here. The thing you didn't like the CDs that Steve gave you. I didn't mind them actually, Marcia. I'm more teasing Steve. They weren't too bad actually. I'm just on Steve's butt about it.
Trying to see where we are here. What was the last album you expected to dislike but loved it?
That's a good question.
I
mentioned the new Sparks album. As much as I'm not a Sparks fan, it wasn't too bad.
So kind of going into the album thinking you're not going to like it, I guess.
Yeah, kind of, because I get a lot of them from Larry where I go, oh my God, I'm not going to like this.
I have to think on that because
there's been a few.
There's albums I try out from time to time, but I actually liked. Now, see, for the most part, sometimes a lot of times I go into it going and I'm pretty right that I'm not going to like it. So I'm going to have to think about that. I had the album that I used to not like and I like now, which is like Division Bell by Pink Floyd. That took me a long time. Yeah, see, I like it now. I think when it came out, I was like, what is going on? I didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, no, I don't mind that album. That and what was the other one? The Temporary Lapse of Reason. The two of them they've got some good songs on.
Momentary Lapse, I love. That album.
Yeah, that one. Momentary Lapse. I said temporary.
Yeah. That's us.
Yeah.
Temporary Lapse is a reason. We come around and we're reasonable people. She has a new album out soon. I'm assuming he's talking about the one you were talking about.
Yeah, that's Hiromi.
Yeah, I can't remember which one I saw, tribute band, but they did a good job. Seeing the Beatles and Tom Petty classic albums live. Okay. You probably see the same circuit that I do too, Marcia, because they come here at Rutherford Hall all the time. So I might have to check one of those out.
And if I'm correct, I think they're Toronto based. The classic albums live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know you're going to say here. I'm going to go ahead. What are you going to recommend?
I said Apostrophe. I would start with.
Okay. And as a newbie Zappa guy, I say Hot Rats, but I like Apostrophe also.
I think Hot Rats because it's almost, unless you're into jazz or some kind of fusion. I don't know if you'd like it or not. Depends what kind of
Yeah,
person you are. If you're more of a rocker, I would go with Apostrophe. If you like a bit of jazz and stuff, then I would go with Hot Rats.
yeah, yeah. I can't find a good copy of Apostrophe. They had one with a decent copy at the record show, but the price was it was that one table we were at, and I was like, nope,
For
I
Hot
can't, I
Rats?
can't pay. No, sorry for Apostrophe,
Oh,
because I
yeah.
can't find that. Like in good, I've seen a couple
Oh,
copies, but
really? Isn't
not.
that interesting?
Yeah, but I can't. I think people played the crap out of it. Um,
I have an yeah, I
so
have an original. I'm not sure. Actually, I haven't played it for so long. My vinyl, I don't know if it's in good shape or not.
yeah, I heard there's a rumor going around there's going to be a reissue of Apostrophe. So
Well,
hopefully that's true.
it'll if they're doing Overnight Sensation right now, Apostrophe will be next.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It will be cool.
Um,
I
that was
imagine
fun.
there's
I'm
some
still
great
going.
bonus stuff on that because Jack
Yeah,
Bruce was hanging around with Zappa back then, and there might be some cool
yeah,
stuff.
that's cool. Well, this is where did I freeze? Did I do a Sam? Holy, that was so freaking funny the other night when Sam froze up. Because he said he just woke up from a nap,
And then he
and the
looked like
next
he
thing
was
you know,
sleeping when he throws up.
yeah. Oh my god, I showed my kids. I'm like, I think Sam fell asleep.
Yeah,
That was the freaking funniest thing ever. Oh my
I know.
god, that was awesome.
It
That's
was.
that's like VC gold right there when those things
It
happen.
was.
Yep, everybody's John's gone. Even though I'm here, guys, I'm still gone. So this
He's
statement
back.
is true. Yeah, I'm back, but am I really back? Am I ever really here?
Yeah, that's
You
that
didn't like.
airbag CDs. I teased Steve about that. He sent me two CDs. It was very nice to send me two CDs. The band's actually pretty good. They're called Airbag. They're a prog band from Norway, and I just busted his balls. I actually like the CDs. Larry didn't like them too much. He was kind of okay with it, but I'd give it like a 7 out of 10.
Let's see. The post Waters Pink Floyd era should be called the David Gilmour Project. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I mean, it is Gilmour taking the helm, and then his wife or fiance at the time was she's
Yeah,
a poet or whatever. But I still like it. It's just a different style. I even like
yeah.
the Final Cut. I like that album. I don't have a problem with that. The one that I think was stretching it was that the last one they did, the Endless River or whatever.
Oh, that was a horrible record. That
Yeah, I
sounded
didn't
like
get the point of it.
That sounded like elevator music.
Yeah,
It
I
was
didn't, right.
boring.
But then I liked On an Island though, the Gilmore album On an Island.
That's a really good
Um,
album. I like that too.
yeah, so I think the Endless River was just leftover stuff from either the Division Bell or something.
It was really like that's
Yeah,
Marsh's line. That fits perfectly. I'd rather make a bad album than a boring one. That was a
and a
boring record.
boring album. Yeah, like a pointless album.
It was.
Let's see. Gary's with you. Apostrophe has better songs, easier for movies to digest. Yeah.
Yes.
If you just want zany, you go into what Glenn, that era of Zappa that you don't like with Frank's Garage and
Yeah, Joe's Garage. Well, you know what? That's not probably
Joe's
a bad
Garage. Yeah,
start for some people, but
yeah, and Chic Your Booty.
yeah, they're not my favorites. Yeah, that was a two. They used to put these out on twofers on Ryko disc. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what's. Yeah, I always wonder what's going to be the next thing to
Do you have a lot of
sweep
Zappa
me away.
albums? How many Zappa albums do you own?
I'm up to maybe 6 at this point.
Okay.
It's a slow climb. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm around that number.
So do you have Freak Out? The first one?
No, I have. Well, I have 3 of his CDs or 4. I think I showed you or somebody. They remastered it early, like 70s or some 60s, 70s, right in that era. I don't know the titles. That's the problem. I haven't listened to them enough. I don't have Freak Out. I see that one. That's another one that I see a lot, and it's not in great condition. I'm
Yeah.
thinking these people play the crap out of these Zappa
But
albums.
I think you can buy that reissued though.
Oh, that one I haven't seen it yet, but I'll probably pick it up. If it's the early Zappa, I probably will.
The first album's it's a double album. The first album's fantastic. The second album's gets a little harder to listen to, but it's worth owning for the first 2 sides.
Okay. Because I kind of started, I knew I was getting an interest in Zappa. So when the documentary came out, actually, that's what kind of put me into it.
Okay.
I picked up the 2 album set that came with the documentary,
How is
and
that? I keep thinking, should I buy that or?
I like it. Because it's like, again, it's like Ronnie James Dio. It's like he started as a doo-wopper, and Zappa kind of did the same thing, almost
Yeah,
mainstream kind of pop music.
yeah.
And then you could hear I love the way they did it because
R&B
they
and
went
doo-wop.
in.
That's where we came from. Yeah,
Yeah. The only song I don't like on there is that Valley Girl song. I can't do the
yeah,
Valley
I know.
Girl song.
Yeah, that's kind of silly.
I don't know why they put. That's the only one that ruined it for me. I'm like, ah. But other than that, yeah, they even did some of the couple tracks of the orchestra stuff that he did, and um, I thought it was a nice presentation of his career to show what he did. So I enjoyed it.
Oh, I don't like this next comment.
Uh,
There's a big time difference.
that's wrong.
That's just wrong.
Oh boy,
Weird
you're supposed
Al's
to
a
put a
comedian
smiley face.
in parodies songs. Frank Zappa's a brilliant composer.
Yeah, I can't tell if Michael's trying to be funny or actually just trying to figure
Oh,
out the two.
oh, he's breaking my heart here.
Zappa is, I mean, okay, Weird Al is a legit musician, but he was definitely on like
Oh,
the
he's into
mimicking
parodies.
comic side,
Yeah.
where Zappa would put his humor into it, but there's a huge, vast difference between the recordings. I mean, yeah, and Zappa wasn't an imitator or anything like that. So, ouch! I knew that was going to hurt your feelings.
Oh, devastated.
One, two, well, I have 6 Zappa albums. So I have Hot Rats, Overnight, Shake Your Booty, Tinseltown Rebellion, and the soundtrack one. So that's my Zappa so far. Not a bad start, I don't think. I think those are pretty
Not
good.
bad.
Except for the Shake Your Booty, I know you're not into that one. Yeah, it's gonna
Read
grow.
Waka Jawaka and Grand Wazoo.
Okay, I don't have Grand Wazoo,
They
but
both
Waka
they were
Jawaka.
both just reissued earlier this year. And the reissues sound fantastic.
Okay, Waka Jawaka I do have on CD. That's one of them, but
Okay.
not the Grand Wazoo. Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm into it. I like it. I got to slow down on the Neil Young though. I mean, this is just ridiculous.
I gave up on Neil Young. He's saturated the world with Neil Young albums in the last couple of years. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, but then that Barn and Toast, man, those are such good albums. I got
Yeah.
into those.
I didn't get Toast, but I do have Barn.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to Toast, give that a listen. Because I was doing the same thing.
I just can't like, especially the live stuff he's putting out. It's all this like it's the same old stuff. Like
Yeah,
if you've got Live at Massey Hall, then there's the Riverboat, and then there's the Washington D.C. one, and they're all the same set lists, and they're all just acoustic performances. They all sound the same to me.
right. He doesn't do like Dylan where he'll change the song up or anything like that.
Yeah, it's just like once I've got a couple of those live ones, I've got them, and I
Now the
love
bootleg one is interesting. Yeah, and because I got that bootleg one, and I was like, when I put it on, I'm like, what the hell? It's a true bootleg. Like it was distant, and it took me a while to get into it, but I did. But if you ever see the bootleg series, be careful of those.
Yeah.
And did you ever see the video of Neil on YouTube? It's like him in the '70s, and he goes to a music store, and he pulls up these bootlegs of his. Have you seen that
Yeah.
video?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of wondering if he took any of those and actually put them on an album. I wanted to look into that and see if he did that.
I wouldn't be surprised. Well, that's what Zappa did too, right? Like Zappa was really bootlegged, and he put out a series called "Beat the Boots," where he took like there's one big box set of albums. It's like I'd say 12 albums of all live stuff, and he put it out in a big box called "Beat the Boots" as an official release to beat the bootleggers.
Didn't the Dead do that too with some of their stuff?
The Dead, no, they welcomed bootleg. They loved it.
But they didn't
record our
release some
show,
of
we
it on
put them
album.
out there. It's publicity for us, so they loved it.
Yeah,
They embraced it.
yeah. It was interesting because Marsha was talking about that last night. Where it is getting expensive for Neil. but the album, like Steve, I think wasn't into the Blue Notes album, and I love that album with Neil
I
Young
don't
and
mind that
the Blue
album.
Notes.
I can listen to that album.
It has some really cool bluesy parts to it. I mean,
Yeah,
"This Note's for You" was like a commercial song or whatever, but
yeah,
um, I just like the whole closing time. I think was when the daylight comes or whatever. It has this real cool mellow, and the horns are playing in there. Um, I know, I just like that. That was good stuff. But yeah, I haven't given Transformer a listen,
Oh, I
but
can't
I am
listen to
interested.
Train. That's
Yeah,
horrible.
I'm interested because I know, because I have a daughter with cerebral palsy, and but she's more verbal. She's definitely, hers is more physical, and Neil's son, I think, is nonverbal, I believe.
Yeah, I
But
think
just the fact that,
nonverbal and yeah,
yeah, but the fact that he was trying to do that to communicate, which I don't understand how he would do that, um, interests me, because obviously it
yeah,
hits close to home.
yeah. I can see that.
So
Yeah,
yeah, so I was kind of, yeah, it's kind of neat that he did that. I've seen videos like he was interviewed by Today Show or something, and he uses trains also. He had train sets that he would collect, and he used that to kind of bond with his son. So I thought that
yeah.
was neat. Did you ever read the Neil? I think he's got two books. But did you ever read the Neil Young autobiography he put out?
I've read a couple. I read Waging Heavy Peace or something. Was that one? There was
Yeah,
something.
I can't, whatever the first one was, and it was like he got into talking about that. What was his? It wasn't Sonos. It was some kind of system that he was coming up with for high quality.
The
Uh,
Pono. It was called Pono.
I'm like, I'm expected to get into it and hear about Neil Young's childhood and all this, and he goes off on trains and cars, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I didn't
where's
get that book.
Neil?
That book wasn't good.
Oh my god, that was horrible. I'm like, come on. And
Yeah,
it was interesting because you're like, I kind of want to read it because it's in his head, but no, I wanted to, like Springsteen did a good job with his book and really
yeah.
brought you in there and told you some stories, But yeah, Neil, yeah, I don't think he wanted to get too personal or something.
There's a book
He
called
was a guy.
Shaky that's pretty good, a biography about him, which was good. And his dad, I don't know if you know Neil Young. Neil Young's dad, Scott Young, was a famous broadcaster in Canada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he
No,
used
I
to
didn't know
be on
that.
he was a report, yeah, a very like a real famous reporter in Canada, and wrote books. He wrote books. He was a big sports guy, and he wrote these books that we would read when we were kids. One was called Boy at Leaf Camp. It was a story about some kid going to a Toronto Maple Leaf training camp, hockey
Oh
camp,
wow.
and there was another one called Scrubs on Skates. It was about a little kid playing hockey, and he wrote these famous books that kids would read. And he used to be you know how they have sports commentators in between periods and halftime and shit on broadcast for sports. He was the
Yeah.
guy in Canada who would come on in the intermission and talk about the game. So that
Oh,
was
that's
Neil's
cool.
dad. So he wrote a book about Neil called Me and Neil, I think it was called, by Scott Young. I don't know if that can be. That was a really good book.
Oh, I have to, yeah, check that out.
Yeah.
Let's see. Weird Al did a style parody of Zappa entitled "Genius in France." That dude with Zappa plays lead guitar.
Oh wow, that's
What's
cool.
what song? I wonder what song he was parodying. I don't know what "Genius in France" would do. I don't know enough Zappa songs.
I saw Dweezil I've never seen Dweezil live and always wanted to. And just when COVID hit, I had tickets to see him here, and he had to cancel his tour. I still have
Ah,
the tickets. I still have the unused ticket hanging on my fridge. But um, I saw him do a thing on his Instagram page a couple of months ago, frustrated in not being able to tour. He was talking about how much money it costs to put a show on the road nowadays, and he's apologized to his fans, just saying, "I cannot afford to tour anymore." Like he said, a tour bus that used to cost you $50,000 a month to rent now costs you like $150,000 a month. He said just things like
wow.
that. He says it's just gotten to the point where he can't, you know, he just can't. He
Yeah,
can't finance the tours.
yeah. And I wonder how
And if
much
you don't have a
Zappa.
record, if you don't have a record contract or somebody backing you, I mean, if it's coming out of your pocket, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, and I wonder how much like the Zappa state is worth, or it seemed like he was always trying ways. to fund
Well, don't forget,
the
Frank spent all
projects.
his money because he wanted to.
Yeah,
He always put it back into his art, like that. His
yeah, like
selling
truly.
apostrophe was helping him subsidize being able to make a symphony orchestra album or something. Like he would put that on the road. Like he wasn't a saver.
No, he was.
Put everything back
And it's
into his music.
interesting. Yeah, and he was, so much talent, but not. You have to be a commercial success, I think, to really make big money or really be, good with your
Yeah,
finances, I think. So yeah, you still it's amazing to see these guys that are like a household name. Everybody knows, whether you even know a song by him, people know who Frank Zappa is.
yeah,
But yet you don't. He didn't have a lot to show for it by monetary, but he showed in his work. But a
yeah.
lot of people didn't see it. That's a shame. You think so many people need to hear this music. Um,
Hmm.
and that's sort of the shame of it. There's so much good music out there that goes unheard because people like to, oh, is it radio friendly? I think a lot of people get lost in that,
Yeah,
and they're afraid unless they're true like us music collectors, where we go off into these different paths all the time to experience new things. So it's a shame when some of these people are so talented. Like a lot of jazz musicians, I don't think a lot of jazz musicians died millionaires. Um,
no.
you
Mm-mm.
know, in
There's a
modest
lot of good
homes, and
musicians who don't have any money. I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
it's amazing how that works. But
yeah.
well, I think I'm gonna close it off because I got about
Wow, it's been
10
2 hours,
minutes.
John. It's been fun.
I know, this is awesome. Thank you for coming up. I think I'm gonna
Thank you for doing this.
yeah, I think I'm gonna try to do this on Monday. Um,
Okay, I'll
I
remember that.
yeah, so
I
I
got nothing to
appreciate you
do.
bringing yeah. And I'm closing up. Hey, how many? So you're at what, the 2,000 over 2,000 mark on the subs?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm like, I just
two
hit
point
1,900.
zero
I'm like
two.
2.02. What's the 02? What is that exactly? I
It's
always
probably
wonder
two
what that is.
thousand and twenty or something.
Yeah. So I'm kind of closing in on you a little bit. I hit the 1,900 mark.
Well,
So
just do some more shorts. You'll get there.
yeah, I'm gonna overpower you with shorts. That's what's gonna happen. I'm
That's
gonna do a
okay. Knock
short
yourself
based
out.
off of it. How I overcame Glenn Kellaway.
Yeah, that's fine.
Shorts.
I'm sure more. Yeah, there'll be a lot of people passing me. Yeah, there's no doubt
Yeah.
about it.
But no, I appreciate you helping me out, supporting me here, Glenn, as always. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun, man.
Yep, and
Hi,
I'll
Marcia.
definitely.
Nick says just buy the bus. That's easier said than done. Imagine how much the bus costs.
Yeah,
There'd be
yeah,
hundreds
no
of
kidding.
thousands of bucks.
You got to get that Dolly Parton bus. I think she owned her own bus,
Yeah.
so
Wow.
that's cool. But yeah,
Well, Neil's got his
I'll be up
bus,
in.
right? I saw Neil's
Well, I don't
bus
know.
out back in Massey Hall when I got his autograph. He's got his bus that he calls Pocahontas.
There you go.
He's
Well,
got a bus and
Willie has
it's
his.
electric. It's electric, so it's not, it doesn't run on gas or anything. It's
Oh wow.
yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
that's
cool.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, buddy.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, man.
Take
I'll be in
care.
the peanut
See ya.
gallery on Wednesday. All right. Bye.
Yeah, take care.